Hello, welcome to Day One Patch Podcast, episode 229.
That it is.
Ryan Johnson, that's Matt Lawrence.
It is.
It's Red Dead Redemption 2 week. Because we're all playing it, right, Matt?
Well, I wouldn't call it the Red Dead Redemption 2 week because it's the last weekday of the week.
It's the
Red Dead weekend.
Week in the sense of
on CTV.
The next 7 days, everyone will be playing Red Dead.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of people on the old friends list that are playing Red Dead.
Yeah, probably. Anyway, what's new, Matt?
Not playing Red Dead is what's going on.
Yeah, you've opted not to play it because you think you're going to be spending all your time in Fallout 76.
Well, this is the issue. This is my issue. So this is, I guess, is also what's happening this week. Then, so what the issue is right now is I'm probably going to get Battlefield 5 via EA Access, on like Xbox. So there's that. Then it's like, well, there's Red Dead, which doesn't have online yet. So like it's like, okay, so I'm stuck in the single player, which isn't like a problem. Like I do like Rockstar single player games. But then there's also Fallout. So I'm literally at a point in which I'm like, well, I'm not going to be able, like physically able to play all at once. It's not a matter of like kind of like how Fortnite has lasted for months and months and months. Like, you know, I could give that up because I've already put like a bunch of time to it. This is literally a matter of everything's coming out within a couple of weeks. So I literally can't, like I'm unable to play multiple things at the same time.
Yeah.
So I don't want to rush Red Dead, and I don't want to beat part of it, then not do it. Like, you know what I mean? Like beat part of it, have a long time where I'm away from it, and then come back. I don't want that. And if I'm doing anything in Red Dead, I might just play online. And it sounds like you guys might not do online.
Well, I'm doing online, definitely.
You're doing online, definitely.
Marty's probably doing online, definitely.
Well, he said he probably isn't going to play it online.
Really?
Because it's an MMO probably. It's going to be like GTA Online.
He'll play it online.
But I don't think you guys are going to play it for very long. Like I don't think
I probably won't be. I didn't play GTA Online very long.
That's the thing.
I just got bored with it.
So I was actually thinking of potentially even getting Red Dead for Xbox, because I know Nate and them are going to play it probably for years.
Mm-hmm.
So if you got, like, you know what I mean, because we have Fortnite, we have Fallout, we have a bunch of stuff that we could play. Yeah. And so it doesn't make sense for me to buy it on PlayStation then.
I'm pretty sure Adrian's going to get it for PC if that ever comes out.
That's it too. So like our online, like everyone is focused like on the single player right now, and I feel like the online is not going to be a focus. Whereas in the Xbox crowd, they will want to play Red Dead Online.
Yeah.
So I'm literally just going to wait because I know it's a bad time. It's like one of those things where it's like I want to buy it and play it because it's topical, but there's no point in me doing that because if I do that, then I know it's just going to sit there.
Right.
I also noticed this week, and I only went through a few comments, but so generally on social media, especially on IGN social media, I find there's a lot of negative comments. Going through a lot of Bethesda's social media posts, they also generally have a lot of really negative and toxic comments. After that first beta run, I saw like in a row, probably like 5 or 6 threads, so like multiple comments and replies within those threads of positive stuff. Like some people are complaining about like some things. Like one guy was saying that the damage to other players isn't enough and stuff like that. That's very, very small balancing stuff that really doesn't matter.
This was in what? Sorry?
This was like the first beta came out, and the first beta came out. The first beta ended. Bethesda then put out it was on Instagram, an Instagram post saying like, thanks or whatever.
Yeah.
But like it literally changed the comment section.
The posted?
The posted like the beta.
Oh, the beta.
Like it was totally positive. Like I don't know what happened. But like it went literally from like generally toxic on like literally everything that Bethesda puts out, and a lot of other things that people put out too. But like it's usually generally toxic, and it was alleviating. I was like, Jesus, like people are loving it. So I think this might be big. So if it's as big as people are alluding to, and the fact that people are loving it, it might mean that like there's no time for Red Dead at all.
Well, from what I've heard is that basically, if you like Fallout, you'll like this game. So that's essentially the kind of consensus I'm getting from a lot of the press, at least. You know, I don't delve too much into what other people are saying online because it's always negative people who like the comments and stuff. So
the toxicity is really, really bad online these days. Well, I think the main thing with 76 is the I don't know if hysteria is the right word, but I'm going to use it. Is the hysteria around. So this is like I'm going to call it a low-key MMO, essentially. And so is this wonder...
What does Destiny call it? A shared world?
Shared world. Shooter with a shared world. So, like, is this game a long game. So if you I don't know how much exploring you do in the Fallout games, but I don't know how much of the map you've been through. But if you are given a location on the Fallout map and you go through it, depending on the size of the location, it could literally take you about 25 seconds to get through it. It could take you an hour and a half to get through it. It really depends on the size and what you do. Do you read all the logs? Do you do this? That was, I think, and no one said this directly, but the impression I got was that one of the concerns is that, let's say you clear out the top part of the map in a couple of hours. Now it's like, okay, well, there's like the kind of like repetitive missions, like we've mentioned before with the teapot and stuff. And it's like, what, like I've already been to that campsite and I've already explored it and read the notes and learned the story behind it. Why do I want to go back? Like, how many times does a Fallout player, with the exception of other files, go back to the same building? Like, if the quest might take you there, but I don't think you will be returning there if you've explored it.
Do you think they're treating this as not something? Well, although they did say it could go on forever, didn't they? They literally said till the end of time they're picturing this game going.
Yeah, which makes sense. Which makes sense. Like, they could add maps,
but they haven't really talked about post game stuff. And they haven't really even talked about the campaign. I think this is...
No, because the campaign is, I think, this is the thing. I think the campaign is as simplistic as we think it is.
This is the problem. They botched their communication with this. I think that's why the comments were so negative beforehand. But once you actually play it and see what they're doing, it might be pretty good.
Well, the thing is, too, is they said they want to do mods on private servers, and I'm definitely down for private servers. Like, if it's a PC-only thing, like, I'm definitely down to even host a private server. Like, I'm totally down for that. Mm-hmm. Because I don't know whether the quote-unquote private server will be hosted on their servers or what. But like what I'm worried about is Fallout 4, which I really, really like. Fallout 4, but with no in-depth quests and just having locations. And if that is the case, I'm definitely gonna have a bunch of fun with it. I'm gonna be able to get a good week out of it, like a good week of like serious play out of it, and then like I'll keep playing it. But there's only so many times I want to go back to the haunted cottage, or like I want to go back to the asylum, the abandoned asylum, or like whatever. You know what I mean? It's a. I think that's the problem, is the longevity. And they said there's gonna be updates, but like what updates? Like, are they gonna do quest updates to go back to the same locations? And the camp system bothers me. Like, am I gonna be able to sell things with a robot? Because like,
there's also not many people in each like instance.
There's that too.
You'll barely see people. So if you want to actually be a trader, you know what I mean? It's going to be kind of tough when there's only like a handful of other people on that server, and they could be on the completely opposite side of the map.
Well, one of the things that I think is going to end up happening, and this is a total speculation slash assumption, is that I think that people are going to determine in general an area to go. Yeah. So I think it's going to be like, oh, there's a nice clearing outside of this city. A whole bunch of people, if you want to trade or whatever, let's set up a market, and there'll be a bunch of people with their camps. I think that stuff like that is going to happen, and I think that we're going to see, I think this is what Bethesda's interested in, is I think that what we're going to see, and this would be fucking awesome, is like player markets open up that are unregulated by Bethesda. But it's like, if you're in any server, you're like, oh, the Merchants Guild or whatever, whatever player body has formed. Yeah. They usually set up here, I need some ammo. Maybe I'll go check that area out and see if there's any Merchants Guild people here. Mm-hmm. That would be fucking awesome. But one of the things I'm worried about is a goal. Is, there's the campaign, there's these quests, but like I don't want to just get the check marks of the quests. I want to have like a little bit of meaning behind the goals, like in the quests. And I'm worried. I'm really worried that it's just, like I said, wander around simulator. But if my personal goal could be, oh, I'm going to level up or whatever, and I don't know if this is even possible. I'm sure some people know, but I don't want spoilers, so I haven't like looked up much. But like if I could have a robot Protectron that has like a shop, because there are those, like there are not player built ones, but we've seen them in the world. Yep. So maybe I could build a Protectron, and I could just have a store inventory that like no one can rob, because it's just like an invisible inventory within the Protectron, and I could sell stuff from like a shop and set up my place like a shop. There's my goal. I'm going to run around, get stuff, and put it up for sale. Yeah. And whether I make a bunch of money or not, don't care.
One funny observation I heard was that everything you have to read or like listen to audio tapes. But if you're in a party and everyone's talking, it's kind of difficult to just tell everyone to shut up. You have to listen to the audio tape.
That's what Marty said. Marty said, how the hell are we supposed to explore I constantly use the haunted cottage area, the haunted camp or whatever it was. I'm watching a video and somebody found like a haunted camp. And the one guy said, "Oh, I was reading the notes," and Marty said, "Like, okay, we'll use that for an example." He said this after the 3-hour demo from a few weeks ago, and he said, like, it's a really good point. It's like, how would we experience the haunted camp? How would we, like, specifically we, right? It's not really possible. It's like, I'm not going to get creeped out. I'm not going to be able to read it really well. I'm just going to want to run around. And I think that's going to be great for when we all get a nuke key. We nuke somebody and then we go farm the area. But I'm telling you right now, I'm shooting people indiscriminately.
Everyone you come across?
Possibly. I might be a raider. I've always said I want to be a raider in one of these games.
How can you be a raider and a trader?
Oh, I might have 2 characters, or I might just have 2 suits.
Okay.
So I'll raid to get stuff and then sell it.
Well, good luck.
Maybe. I don't know. Like this is my thing is I think that what I might, if there's meaning in like
remember Terminator in The Division. There's going to be guys like that running around in Fallout.
What if it's
who
me?
are just ridiculously badass and just kill you?
What if it's me though? What if that is me?
You could be, but have you ever been that?
No, but also in The Division we weren't looking up numbers and that type of thing.
People doing their math to figure out the best stuff.
Well, I think a lot of people. There's a lot of people who just like constantly create new files. Like I think a lot of people that like to be meticulous.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I'm just saying, but they always kill me.
They will.
Yeah.
And then that's exactly why they do it, because they know they're going to kill people.
Yeah.
The one thing is though is how meaningful are our personal goals going to be? If I can say I want to become a raider, can I dress like a raider? Probably, right? I can probably dress like a raider, and I can only steal people's junk. So what I mean by that is I need that Protectron merchant to make my rating, my rating against other people worthwhile. I don't want to stand at my place, and I certainly don't want to approach people and be like, open up trade dialogue. Like, that's weird. I want to be able to sell things at like a Protectron. Like, that just makes sense. Or like an auction house, like if there's just a server-wide auction house where you can just check in the menu, I'm fine with that too.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
But they said they already discussed having like a town in which you could buy you could buy a market stall.
That'd be cool.
See, like that type of stuff is cool. To me, like I'm fine with that. Turn on a podcast, go run around, grab some like good junk or something, and then just...
It'd be cool if you could send it to your little storefront.
Yeah.
So if you find a really good weapon, but you already have one, or you don't want it, you can just send it off to that person, like almost like a Marcus junk, but instead it sells it, or it sends it to your market.
That'd be freaking awesome.
That'd be pretty cool.
So like I'm hoping there's stuff like that, because I'm fine with making my own goals if they're meaningful. I don't like to make my own goals like, oh, I'm the sheriff of this town, but no one's here.
They're letting you set the price too for these things. Do you know that?
Well, I know that you can open up a trade dialogue. So I assume
so there is negotiating them.
I assume so. Because I could be like, hey, you want this minigun? You'd be like, here's 8 rockets. And I'd be like, no, give me 10 rockets and like 10 calves, or I don't know, something. So
that's a good question too. Has caps been established as the currency yet at this time?
Yes.
In the course of... It has already.
But
aren't you the first humans out?
No. You're the first pre-war preserved humans.
Oh, so humans have survived the blasts.
This is why it's stupid, because you can find actual recently dead raider bodies in the world.
Was that in the video I sent you, where they were talking about how like they literally everywhere they go, there's fresh dead raiders?
It's like, where the fuck are these actual raiders?
And it just makes you feel like you've always just been seconds behind something that just happened.
Some fight, yeah.
Like these bodies are still warm. Like that's what they said it felt like.
I think they're gonna double back. I think they're gonna double back and add like an expansion that adds raiders. I have a feeling. And also, you know how like we had just discussed, like it's weird that they're not doing so much, like that, like you were saying that their communication was a little unclear. I think it's that way because I don't think they know fully. It's
right. They're just jumping into this, right?
They're jumping into online games.
Yeah.
So it's literally like, let's get our servers up before we talk to players about this, because we don't want to deal with people being like, no, do it this way. No, do it this way. It's like, hang on a minute here. This doesn't turn on yet.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we got to make sure this friggin' works.
Do you think they talked to their the Elder Scrolls Online guys to try to get some expertise in MMO type games?
Well, they got id, and id definitely helped. That was in the documentary, if I remember correctly. And then I don't know if ZeniMax was mentioned, but I'm sure that at least something was said. They have a new documentary out about Fallout Shelter as well, which I watched. It was pretty good. So.
Well, I still plan on getting it. I gotta say though, my excitement for the game has gone down since E3.
It has gone down.
Yeah,
I'm surprised it hasn't gone up.
I don't even think Marty's gonna get it anymore.
Well, Marty wants to play Red Dead.
Yeah.
Which means that he ain't gonna get it till that's done. Which means, this is what I mean about Red Dead.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna lock people into single player. So I'll play Fortnite until Fallout comes out.
All right, and I've been playing Red Dead. I just got it last night, and I played for like an hour, and then played like an hour today.
What are you gonna do about Odyssey?
It's sad because I love that game too.
But you're gonna uninstall it, eh?
No, no. I don't know. I'll have to every other day. I think it's gonna have to be. Maybe I'll swap it back between. But this is the problem though. Like, I know it's a bit ridiculous to want to rush a game or to even rush a game, you know.
Yeah.
But this is probably gonna force me to do that.
This is exactly why I'm not doing it. Because I know it's like why?
Mm-hmm.
It's like I bought this thing to experience it. Why am I rushing it?
Yeah.
And it's like the whole thing with Marty and I again had this discussion when playing Fortnite. We're playing a lot of Fortnite lately, and we were saying like challenges. I mean, like challenges are in games like all over the place, right? I'm not like blaming Fortnite for challenges, but just challenges in general across games are fucking stupid. I don't like them because it's like Fortnite. Okay, I want to get this gun, and that's going to be the bet. Like I'm going to choose the gun that's best for the situation. Now I have a challenge to go get minigun kills or use a trap. Now I'm obligated to use a gun, weapon, or trap that is different than what might be best for the situation. And this happens in other games, and I don't like that. It's like, oh, but it's a challenge. It's like, I understand that. But my goal is to win. It's not like in hockey they go, you know.
Let's make things more difficult for us.
Your goal is to win, but if you can skate on 1 foot for 10 seconds, that'd be pretty great. It'd be like, what the hell is the guy talking about?
Right.
So it's like, why you don't open up to the risk. Like you're opening up, you know what I mean? Like in Fortnite, it's the risk of dying and losing the round. Fair enough. But like it's like in anything, it's like Call of Duty. It's like, oh, now I got to use a weapon I'm not good with.
But in most games, it's optional. But when you buy the battle pass, it almost seems mandatory if you want those skins. Because otherwise, if you're just trying to go level up,
leveling up is not.
You're not going to get the stars to level up your tier.
You got to do your daily challenges and you got to do your weeklies for sure. And now, like some of the Calamity Jane, I think she's called the cowgirl. Her, if you have to do 50 weekly challenges in order to unlock her last color.
Wow.
So. Like it's serious business. Like it's like you have to do these challenges.
Also, too, you can call me a lazy gamer or whatever. I don't care. But I like games where you actually feel like you're powerful, and the challenges kind of. I know they're supposed to be challenges, and if you like challenges, that's fine. But the challenges makes me feel like I'm bad
because you're being
because I'm bad at them. You know. Yeah. But I like in Fallout where you get to a certain point where you're kind of fearless, and you're just blasting people away.
You just run at people. You just run at them.
I actually enjoy that. So I like struggling at the beginning because obviously I'm just a new guy, right? But I like working up to that point where I'm like I feel like a badass. You know?
Yeah.
So
and you get all equipped and you're all leveled up, all perked out.
That's one thing where I don't like what Assassin's Creed does. It has level scaling, right? And so you never really feel like you're getting more powerful or stronger. You get more skills and stuff, and that can help you defeat enemies faster. But it always feels like you're still at level 1.
I don't understand the level scaling thing you were saying, because I remember when I was playing it briefly in Free Roam, you were saying like, oh, this area is higher level than me. So what is it? Like you level up to the area's level, and then it starts leveling with you after that?
When you start level 1, right? Yeah. Every area has its own recommended level.
Okay.
So the first area is obviously like 1 to 5 or whatever. And the next area the story takes you to is like 5 to 10.
Okay.
Right? Each area is like that, and then the story will take you through them when you're ready, right? But once, let's say I reach level 25, okay? If I go back to that level 1 to 5 area, right? All the enemies there will be around level 25. They won't be level 1 to 5 like they were at the beginning.
They won't. So you get like they're at a fixed level, and then when you hit that level, they increase with you.
They're typically not at the same level, but they'll be like, if you're level 25, they'll be like level 21 to 23.
So they're still lower because they're low areas, but they're still like it's scaling to you. Yeah. It's almost like a Bethesda game, or like
Oblivion, right?
I think Fallout 4 did it too. Fallout 4 definitely did it actually.
Level scaling?
Yeah. Where it was like obviously death claws and stuff are rather challenging, and I think they're like fixed because they're fucking big things.
Yeah.
But like raiders in that, if you notice, raiders get better equipment as you level up.
I didn't notice, no.
Like
maybe they implemented it better. I don't know.
Like there's certainly areas. There's certainly times where you stumble upon a shitty raider group that's like really low level, but generally,
was it New Vegas that had the fixed ones?
New Vegas had it, but what the issue with New Vegas was that obviously, I mean I say obviously, but like in my experience, I wanted to go see New Vegas.
So you wanted to run right there.
I wanted to run right there, and there were cazadors, and you couldn't really like there's ways around it, but like when you're as a new player, you're like, well, fuck, I can't get past these things.
Yeah,
and like so you're kind of fucked at that point. But I don't think they level up too much. I don't really know. That's a good question. But they know. But Fallout 4, I think for sure. Like I mean, to an extent, but like Oblivion does it as well. Morrowind was fixed for sure. Morrowind just get fucking wrecked. Like I mean, I was pretty bad as a kid though, but like I used to get wrecked in that game.
Another problem I have is like a lot of times in RPGs, I'll like to hold back on a couple quests so I can come back to them and just clean them up.
Sure.
But now that the quests level scale with me,
the quest too,
you can't even like get that far ahead of the quest to go back and just kick ass. And there's these particularly hard missions where you got to hunt these like epic creatures, or animals.
Yeah.
And they're super hard, right? A couple hits and you're dead. You can't level up far enough to make it simpler for you. So it's almost like they're trying to make it so you don't grind, but you kind of need to grind because you can't just do the story without grinding.
You're trying to grind in order to get to those other locations that are higher than you.
One funny thing I heard was that the enemies are grinding as well. So everyone's out there boosting their level.
Well, I think what it's supposed to be is it's like the World of Warcraft effect where it's like you start out killing boars or whatever, and then the boars are always level 5 or whatever the hell they are.
Yeah.
And so if you were to return there, it's boring. But if you do it like with the way Odyssey's doing it, it's like if you want to go experience boar hunting, the boars are not a spectacular enemy, but they now no longer are level 5. They're like level 30. But they're still not a spectacular enemy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's again the problem with Odyssey. Your enemies don't change. You're fighting the same enemies the entire game.
Okay.
It's just like a dude with a spear, dude with a sword and shield, and a big brute. That's like all the characters there are. So the level scaling doesn't...
it's weird.
It'd be nicer if as you got higher level, you'd fight harder and harder enemies that were different.
That's how Oblivion worked. Is like they would have leather armor, and then you'd level up a fair bit, and then they'd have glass armor, or and then there were levels of those. Like there'd be bandits, which would let's say like the bandits have glass armor, and then the highwaymen, which are better bandits essentially, they have a negotiating thing where they can actually ask you for money, but then they might be wearing Daedric, which is higher, right?
All right, let's hop into the stories for this week. Days Gone has been delayed. Now, you were happy about this.
I was, even though I'm a big fan.
Yeah, this comes to us from GameInformer, and actually they have a quote here from the studio, Ben's studio, who says, "We want to share a change in release date for this highly anticipated title from Ben's studio. We recently decided to move the release of Days Gone from the crowded February timeframe to April 26, 2019. While the studio is eager to see Days Gone in the hands of fans, Ben's studio will take the opportunity to further polish Days Gone." So... here's the busy release schedule for the time that they're leaving.
I was able to ask, what is coming there?
January, February. Kingdom Hearts 3, Anthem, Metro Exodus, Resident Evil 2 Remake, and those are the big games that are coming out around that time.
That's what's happening.
What?
There's too much stuff coming out. You remember Rage is coming out? Remember
that? Like creeped into my head the other day. I was like, holy Christ, Rage 2's coming out.
I saw a ad for it, and I was like, what's the game's that? I'm like, holy fuck, that's coming out later on. Like, holy Christ.
Yeah. So I think what they're probably noticing, too, is I'm sure they track like social media trends and stuff. I doubt there's many people talking about Days Gone, and so they need to give it as much space as possible, right?
Yeah.
So...
well, what's really bizarre is like I would equate Days Gone to something like The Last of Us.
In terms of,
it looks the same, like it's bikers, but it looks like if you change,
you could definitely tell someone,
this is Last of Us 2, or if you change the characters on the bikes with the same story and dialogue, obviously with like the proper voices. If you change one to Joe and one to Ellie, because they could both ride bikes. And you just said, like, they're riding bikes to this area because there's, like, villages and stuff now. I don't think anyone would say anything. So it's bizarre to me. I was gonna say it's getting flack, but like I don't know if it is because like I've only really
gotten. I don't know if
gotten
it's getting flack, but
because I know Adriano isn't like a fan. So like what I'm saying is like in our personal circle, like I don't know if anyone else is getting it. So I'm not really getting a good impression.
Yeah. I'm getting.
You're gonna get Days Gone.
Yeah,
that's surprising.
I buy almost everything, so
that's so surprising to me. But I don't know. I'm surprised they're not just gonna go toe to toe. Like something like Anthem is totally different than Days Gone. Something like Resident Evil 2 is totally different than Days Gone.
They're all pretty totally different.
Yeah.
But there's still going to be some crossover.
Yeah.
And they want all the advantage they can get, I think.
Yeah. I think it's going to be pretty great, actually.
Also, the tone is a little different than The Last of Us.
Is it?
Yeah, if you watch that first trailer when they announced the game, or even like the gameplay trailer they showed at, I think it was at E3. It's a completely different type of game. It still has the somber kind of post-apocalyptic zombie world.
Like even the graphics look the same or similar.
Yeah, but I think the overall tone of it, like plus they don't have the swarming of freakers.
No, yeah, like there's more of like a horde mechanic to Days Gone.
And Last of Us is very story focused. I feel like this one isn't story focused.
Have you seen the long? Is it 45 minutes?
I watched like 10 minutes of it.
There's a lot of story in that. If you watch the whole thing, there's a lot of story.
But there's a difference between focusing on the story and having story. You know what I mean? The Last of Us is very much
focused on story.
Yeah.
It was like, and I'm just going to spoil the 45-minute preview. It was like, it's been a while, so I'm probably going to miss parts. But it's like they're going somewhere. They're going somewhere to chase this guy down because he screwed them over somehow, screwed the camp leader over or something. So the one guy goes, whatever, they get him. You can make a choice whether to shoot him or leave him. And then the other guy reacts to it. And like your partner reacts to it. Mm-hmm. And he acts differently based on it. And then there's like a whole mechanic where you leave and your bike's all fucked up. So you have to go to this like mechanic shop. There's like, an action sequence there. Then like it introduces you to these weird like cult faction. Because like your buddy gets attacked while you were sneaking in to get an alternator. Then you return and you find out your bike is not there. So you go back to the camp and somebody from that camp was like scouting, found a bike, didn't know, took it and like took it back to the place. They chopped it like a chop shop and then sold it. Mm-hmm. But during all this, your buddy's all fucked up because he got hurt by that cult. So you like take him back to his like place. And so now you're like out there trying to like deal with it. And there's like random strangers around and stuff. Like it's every bit of that wasn't free roam. Like every bit of it was story driven. It was like, do this to save your buddy, do this to save your bike, make this decision and your buddy's going to have like an input or the thing on it.
Yeah.
I would say it's very comparable, not in story, like not in terms of the actual story, but in terms of the amount of story, I would say is very comparable. And the world is obviously very comparable.
Well, it could just be suffering from then that no one, if you went and saw a movie, let's say you went and saw Star Wars for the first time, right? No one's really going to care about a similar Star Wars movie coming out after that. Do you know what I mean? Like space,
that's fair.
Space adventures.
That's fair.
Do you know what I mean? We've already got our taste of Star Wars. We all like Star Wars now. I know a lot of studios try to jump on that bandwagon. They think, oh, the audience is ready for sci-fi, and they all start making their sci-fi films trying to copy Star Wars.
Yeah.
And that just kind of happens. So I wonder if people are kind of viewing it that way. Also, it's from Ben's studio, who I'm not sure what their other games are off the top of my head, but I don't think they have the reputation that Naughty Dog had going into The Last of Us.
No, I wouldn't say they would have the reputation.
I think it's a whole different kind of dynamic. You know what I mean?
I'm really curious. I'm really curious as to whether it's going to do well. I'm really curious about that.
Well, if they moved it to an open area, I think it will.
Think it'll do all right.
Yeah. It's in April they moved it to?
Yeah, which is great because
April 26th.
Because the Division. No, that's perfect because then the Division, I can get a good month in. I think of the Division.
There's always a question: why don't they push it to like the summer? Because no games come out in the summertime, and yet I feel like that's a untapped market.
It's almost like the free to play markets there.
Yeah.
Where because like the kids are all home and they just download stuff, they don't have to ask their parents for money. So like Fortnite and stuff like probably thrive in the summer.
But I don't know why there's this idea that people don't play games, because people watch movies, people watch TV shows, people watch Netflix all year. Why wouldn't they play games all year?
I think maybe they literally see a decrease. It's like It's like, yes, there is
But there's decrease because they don't put anything out.
Well, it might be a decrease in, like, let's say they put out one game and it gets 100 sales, and then the other one gets 80, so it's a 20% decrease. It's like maybe those 80 people are going to play it more because they're free, but let's say 20% of the population is not going to buy it because they're away at whatever, like they're at a cottage, they're on vacation somewhere, whatever, and so they're not going to play it, and so they don't want to have that 20%.
Yeah.
And so why would you release something there when you could wait literally 4 months and then have the holiday season behind you?
Yeah, I guess.
But it's weird to release it in the spring, though. It's like, I don't know if that's a weird time to release things, in my opinion.
A couple years ago, there was a bunch of games that released in the beginning of the year, and they all did really well. And that's normally a time when a lot of games don't launch, because it's just after the holiday season. Most games have wrapped up, and then shipped in October or November of the previous year.
Yeah.
But a couple years ago, when I think it was the one Horizon Zero Dawn launched and stuff, those games sold really well.
Yeah, it's. I
think people play games when they get excited for it. It's one of those things where it's like they don't think people play games in the summer, but if they tried, maybe people would. Maybe people want to buy a game. You know what I mean?
We should look up what games come out in the summer and look at their sales, just as a curiosity.
All right, next up here we have Jade Raymond has left EA Studios, or her EA studio, where Motive, and they had a new Star Wars game in development, and she's out. Now, I was just listening to a podcast, and they were thinking that this might not be like a very pleasant of a leaving.
That's what I was. I do not know anything about it, but the timing alone feels like it's not a pleasant leaving.
Well, it seems like EA has kind of bungled their Star Wars, franchises, and I'm not sure if they're blaming her for that or if she is not liking what EA's direction is. I don't know who's the one who wants to leave more or who wants the other person out more, or if it's mutual.
Well,
I don't know. We don't know the details
here. It could be EA is saying like, no, you are putting loot boxes or you are putting these microtransactions in. It could be that. It could be a timeline problem. Even it couldn't have nothing to do with monetization.
But her studio was in charge of the single player content for Battlefront 2. That wasn't the thing wrapped up in controversy.
For Battlefront 2, I thought it was you just said new Star Wars game as well, right?
They recently started working on the new one.
That's even worse time.
The one that Visceral was working on before they got shut down. Motive then took that one over.
Interesting.
So there's a huge mess. I think Star Wars is in shambles right now, kind of. If you kind of look at what's going on.
I don't know if that Anthem's going to sell well either.
No.
I did not give a fuck about that big thing that they were shooting at. I was like, it's a big monster you're shooting at. Okay.
The trailer before that one, I was excited, but then this one, the last E3, you're right. Enthusiasm went down.
Well, the thing is like I think it could be really cool, but it's also a squad shooter coming out near the Division.
Yeah.
So what am I going to play?
Yeah.
I'm going to play the Division. Not going to play Anthem probably.
So EA has a what do you call it?
You're rotating your hand. What does that mean?
A statement. They released a statement. EA Studios is focused on bringing more creative new games and content to players. Laura Meal and her team have taken several steps internally to better support our game makers in this pursuit, such as expanding Samantha Ryan's portfolio to lead additional studios, including Motive. Samantha is known for driving creative design and supporting great game teams so they can bring their visions to life. She's a deeply experienced game maker with a gamography that spans from The Sims to Batman Arkham City to No One Lives Forever to the highly anticipated Anthem. With this change, Jade Raymond has decided to leave Electronic Arts. In her time with us, Jade helped to build great teams, and our projects underway at Motive and other studios continue unchanged. We're appreciative of all her efforts, and we wish Jade all the best as she moves on to her next adventure. We are driving greater creativity into everything we do across EA Studios, and we'll look forward to sharing more in the months to come. Now, what IGN pointed out that was funny about this statement is they don't mention her until like the second paragraph. And that's why they think there's a little bit of bad blood here.
Well, it's also the fact that it's bad timing because that project just began. It was also her friggin' studio. She started, like recently too. Like this isn't like a studio that's 10 years old.
This is what I find odd is like, I believe she started Motive, right?
Yeah.
And she left Ubisoft, a big publisher.
Yeah.
And then I think EA bought them?
Something like that.
But why would you, if you left a big publisher, why would you go back to a bigger publisher who's known for less
money?
Hmm?
Money.
Really?
Like if she's the owner and she founds Motive and gets a really good team together, and then EA sees that and says, "Oh, we don't have to recruit anything. We just buy this studio."
But then stuff like this happens.
Yeah, but she could have gotten a couple
She
mil.
still
out
has
of
the
it.
money.
Like who knows? Like I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone knows, but like if she got a couple mil out of it, it's like, well, she got a couple mil, worked there for a bit, probably on a salary of some sort, and then left.
But now you gotta go start up a whole new studio if that's her plans.
If she could just be done, she'd just be like, fuck, I'm done.
Well, anyway, I guess we'll see what happens.
Did she release a statement?
No.
See, she did when she left Ubisoft, didn't she?
Yeah. So that's funny too, eh?
That's it's not good.
Now the person they put in charge of the studio also oversees a bunch of other studios at EA. So she has a lot on her plate now too. This the Samantha Ryan.
It depends what you mean. It depends what like the overseeing duties are.
Yeah,
are you supposed to show up to 3-4 meetings, or are you just like pop in your head and be like, how's that project going? Well, hurry it up, and then just kind of leave.
Samantha Ryan is currently running EA's mobile, Maxis, and BioWare studios, and will add Motive to her portfolio.
Well, I don't know what Maxis is doing these days. That's SimCity.
That's a good question. And The Sims.
And The Sims, yeah. So I don't know what I
would be
surprised. Doing these days.
I would be surprised to see a Sims 5.
I wouldn't.
You think The Sims is still selling well?
I think that they're going to make a Sims Online.
That would make sense. That would make a lot of sense.
And then it would be like a games as a service. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Because they're already selling us the fucking $1.5 million freaking expansions.
Why even sell expansions? Just have it all microtransactions and you buy what you want.
I mean, it's essentially that.
Yeah.
It's essentially I'm sure you could buy them digitally. You're essentially doing that.
Again, this is the issue with... If you buy an expansion, like let's say you just buy a clothing expansion.
Okay.
One of the stuff packs.
Yeah.
Right? And let's say it comes with 100 different outfits.
Okay.
And you buy it for $40.
Okay.
If you were to buy a shirt individually on their new microtransaction thing,
yeah,
it's not going to be, 1/100th of $40.
No, it's not.
You know what I'm saying?
No, but at the same time,
so it's going to technically increase all the prices of all the DLC.
No, but at the same time, I don't think they would do that. I think it would be a pack.
You think it would still be the stuff
because
packs?
it's like no one's gonna fucking pay for one lamp.
But this is the argument with games like Assassin's Creed. You can buy a skin for your horse. That's like $5 or $10 or whatever it is.
Yeah. On
a $60-$70 game.
Yeah, but it's also
the horse is not.
It's also an extremely unnecessary purchase. It's not like an online game where you show off your skins. It's like if you specifically want this skin, then you have to pay, I guess.
That's even more odd. It makes more sense to me to buy something online that other players can see.
Right.
But in a single player game, why would you really care about cosmetics as much to actually dish out money for it?
That's a good question.
And yet, I imagine people do. And even I guess I did want to buy like a couple skins, but
well, I mean, there was the old horse armor thing in Oblivion. That's essentially a skin for your horse.
I know it makes sense to want to change your look and your skin in the game, but I'm saying, why would you want to pay more money outside of that?
Well, especially with a game like it with Odyssey, there's so many hours put into it that I think the buying power is in the staying power. If the person is staying in the game for a long period of time, they might be more enticed to put money into it because it's like, I'm extending, however short, I'm extending my experience of my investment of so many hours.
Mm-hmm. All right, moving on. A new Steam competitor, the Discord store, wants your friends to help you sell games. This comes from GameSpot. I didn't know this, but previously available only to Canadian players, the new global Discord store is all about curation. The company is hoping to put games in the front of players that they're more likely to want to buy and play. That curation will be carried out by the Discord team as well as through recommendations made by players' friends on the Discord service. The store will also include its own First on Discord exclusive titles. There are currently 5 games on that list. But how do you feel about a more curated platform? Because Steam kind of just a mess. Their storefront is just a mess of games.
The thing is, though, is it is curated to an extent. It's kind of curated by you. So it's like you can go through that like discovery queue, and then you can like that's algorithmic to an extent, and then you can kind of curate it to like fine tune it. So there is that to an extent. So I'm fine with the curation, but I wouldn't be motivated to move my library to Discord. Like I do use Discord, but it's like if everyone was always on Discord, like we always are, if all of us were on Discord and we were always using Discord and that was our chat, and like we weren't using 1,000 other apps and we're just using Discord, then it might be a little more enticing to be like, all right, I'll just go on to Discord and buy my stuff because then that way it's my store, my library, whatever. Now it's like I already have a Steam library,
and so many people's Steam libraries are massive.
It's too big. Like,
so why would you ever want to leave? You know.
Well, I think that there's a lot of people out there that don't care about fragmentation. Like to them, it's like, well, I have the Discord app anyway. So to them, it's like, oh, I want to support Discord, so I'll buy RimWorld, which is already on Steam. I'll buy RimWorld on Discord instead of Steam. Mm-hmm. Like that makes sense. Like
plus, I do have like 10 launchers on my freaking.
That's the thing.
Computer.
Like it's already fragmented. So if you know, I'm a fan of not fragmenting it anymore. But like if you don't care, which a lot of people don't, then like power to you, I guess.
So what would it take for you then to actually move to a Discord store? Would it be exclusive titles?
I don't play on PC enough. I don't think.
No.
I would say that I would advantageously purchase it if it was exclusive to Discord, and I had a few people that wanted to play it. Like if we were all going to buy Civilization 7, and we were all going to play it a lot, and it was only on Discord, then I wouldn't object, really. I might say, like, oh, that's stupid that it's only on Discord, and then I would still buy it.
Yeah.
You know, I would just use it. But I would only use it out of necessity.
It wouldn't become your main place to look for games.
Not that I can tell, unless the price is way low. Like, if the prices are lower, there's no point in me not fragmenting more, because I'm fragmented anyway.
I might just do it just to give Steam a run for their money.
You're going to move the Discord store.
I don't play much PC games either.
But, I mean,
but I'm saying if I were to, I would want to give Steam a run for its money.
See, I don't know about that because.
But monopolies are never good for the consumer.
But there is no monopoly, right? Like you can purchase things in the Ubisoft manager, you can purchase things in the Origin manager, and like you know, say what you want and say, oh, Steam has the market. Sure, they probably have the indie market, fine. But there's a lot of fucking people play The Sims. A lot of people play Battlefield. A lot of people play those big EA games. That's why EA is big.
Yeah.
And those guys, if they have PCs, they have Origin. So it's not like Origin is hurting.
Well, I'm surprised by that Ubisoft didn't pull their games from Steam. EA did.
I think Ubisoft is more.
They don't care.
They're more community. Like they don't give a fuck. They're like, well, you know, like you do like when you boot it up in Steam, it opens up Ubisoft.
Yeah.
But like I think to them, it's just like it's a vendor. Like who cares?
Yeah.
It's like we're selling a product, not selling a platform. They don't care.
Yeah. But clearly EA wanted to sell a platform because they have the EA access on Windows as well.
Well, there's value in having a platform because you lock people in to an extent. But I think Ubisoft is one to say, like our products are our software. They're not our.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like it makes sense.
And I think Microsoft's now going to get into more selling games
with the Windows Store or whatever it's called,
which they really should have been doing a long, long time ago. They should have been the first ones before Steam to really start pushing PC games.
The thing is, though, is I do still think I think there's more money in the operating system, and I think that to them it's like
no, for sure, but it wouldn't take that much for them to make a store.
But it's that whole mentality of like, well, we could invest more in our enterprise and make another $1 billion, or we could invest in gaming and make $100 million. What do we want? Well, let's do the enterprise.
No, but they have enough money to put something everywhere.
But like again, like a billion to 100 million.
They clearly care because now they're playing catch up.
Now, yes.
What I'm saying is like these companies need to have the foresight to jump in front of things.
The thing is too is a lot of these companies, they're really big, and sometimes it's not even foresight. It's like if somebody's big in an hour in a year, someone's big in the first year, you can. How would I explain this? It's like if Steam gets big and they're big for a year, you might be a year behind, but that's not that bad because Steam is still new for a year. It's like I don't understand why these companies sit for like a decade and then go like, oh shit.
Yeah.
You know, like Discord is moving pretty quickly. Like they got a community of people on their chat platform.
Yeah.
And they're like they have like a whole bunch of stuff like streaming mode and everything. Like they have like a bunch of innovative features, and then Steam is now playing catch up in that department. Which Steam is still not a social platform. I don't care what anyone says. I'm not fucking using Steam for a social platform. I don't chat people on there.
What do the big PC guys do though? Do they use Steam?
when I'm on a computer, and if someone else is there, yeah, I'll use it because it's the part of the overlay. But
I always hear like Twitch streamers and stuff; they're always using Discord.
Yeah,
it's never hit me up in Steam. I never hear that.
No, because because Discord is everywhere. Discord's on your phone. Discord's there. You can do that in Steam too, but nobody does really.
It's a weird thing. I've noticed this a couple times where you can have a service, that's bundled in with another service, but if it's not the thing you think of first, it will never take off. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Since Discord was always known as this is where you go to chat.
Yeah.
People always think of that as the primary place to go to chat. Steam's always had a chat, but you thought of it as a game client first. You know what I mean?
You think of it as a store, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is too with Steam is like they have groups and that type of thing, but like with Discord, I don't know exactly why it took off, but there's like for Pokemon Go, for example, there's province wide, fucking servers, and it's province wide, but it filters. Like you sign up with a certain role, like the admin has to set this up, but it's all through Discord stuff, right? Mm-hmm. Discord and its partners or whatever. But like you can, when you set up your profile on that guy's server, you get pulled into just Hamilton.
Yeah.
Like, isn't that huge though?
Yeah.
Like Steam, what the fuck is Steam doing? You got to join a group, then it'd be pandemonium if it was Ontario wide.
Right. All right. Next up, we have speaking of Pokemon Go. Pokemon Go is going to integrate with the Apple Health and I believe Android Health or whatever they got.
I got a news in the app. It told me, so I don't know what exactly it's going to do, but
Google Fit, I guess.
Probably.
Yeah. So now previously there was an update, I think either last year or maybe earlier than that allowed Pokemon Go data to send it to your health app.
Right.
But it never allowed your health app to send data to the Pokemon Go app.
Which was bizarre.
So now what they're doing is they're allowing you to walk around, get your steps in your health app, right?
Yeah.
And then that information can be translated into Pokemon Go, and it will do the whole egg walking and candy popping thing or whatever they do.
Like, yeah, there's gonna be a passive integration in which like you can hatch eggs and stuff. I didn't look at the full list,
which is fantastic.
Which is really good because it makes sense. It's like there's already a pedometer, and it's like I'm pretty sure there's an API for all these apps. So it's like why wasn't there just a sync with health app inside of the Pokemon Go? It like loads for a couple seconds, figures out your steps, and then just accumulates those in the fucking game. Like it should have just did that.
Yeah.
Now what I'm curious though is whether the eggs are going to change to steps and not distance.
But it can gauge distance
based
through
on
your steps. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just an average, pace.
It could. No, it could. I'm just curious as to whether they will change the metric to be like 20,000 steps or something. I don't know.
But it does track kind of how far you've walked too, your health app. So it could take even that information. Doesn't necessarily have to.
That's true.
Doesn't necessarily have to be steps.
Detects your walks. Yeah.
Yeah. But this will allow me to play a little more passively now. I still have the app on my phone. I haven't played in forever, but
I was out raiding yesterday. Did a couple of raids yesterday.
Oh.
But like Pokemon Go is and I've talked with Adriano about this. Pokemon Go is reaching a point in which Adriano and I play it for maintenance only.
Right.
It's like new legendary comes out, we'll go raid or whatever, or we'll like plan a trade or like whatever. Like we'll do maintenance. But like I don't go out and go, I'm gonna go play Pokemon Go. I go out for the events. I kind of do a little bit of maintenance. But whereas before, like, and I miss it too. Like before, we were just running around Bayfront, being like, "Oh, what Pokemon are we gonna find?" Now it's like, no, we gotta wait for the event. Why waste our time? You know what I mean?
Yeah. So there's also having an event, what they're calling Adventure Sync. This will provide Pokemon Go users with a weekly summary on incubator and candy progress, right alongside activities statistics. Through the trainer profile, Pokemon Go users will be able to see the number of kilometers walked each week, and rewards will be available for each milestone that's reached. This is coming soon alongside Apple Health on iPhones. It will work with Google Fit on Android devices. There you go.
Cool.
Now, is Google Fit your main health app, or do you use the Samsung one?
I use the Samsung one, but I'll just use Google Fit then.
Does BlackBerry have their own?
No, not a health app.
Okay.
Well, that's kind of welcome, to be honest. I don't want another one.
Right. All right, now our final story. Now, we talked about this last week. You had some grave concerns, and you might have been warranted to have those concerns because changing your PSN name via the new firmware update could prove costly.
Here we go.
This comes to us from GameInformer. Invites to Sony's new PS4 firmware beta 6.10 have begun to go out, and with it, plenty of changes are coming to the system, including the option to change your PSN handle. Now, this is according to some forum users on Reset Era who are saying that there's a bunch of issues that I guess they present you with. These are the risks you're going to take.
Here we go. You got the list there?
Among the myriad problems reported in the disclaimer, games and apps may not function properly. Players may lose access to paid-for virtual currency and DLC. Saved game data may be lost, which includes leaderboard status, progress made in-game, and trophy data. And your former PSN handle may remain visible to both you and other players even after you change it. For players who have logged hundreds of hours in their favorite game or racked up some of the elusive trophies, the simple ID change could prove costlier than expected.
Because those old games aren't going to update, they're going to use your old ID to name everything.
So, I mean, they
I was literally correct. I was literally spot on, I think.
Sony was right in saying this was like a nightmare for them.
Yes, I agree with that. You know what else is not? What else doesn't make much sense? They got the real names to work. What are they doing?
What do you mean?
They got the real names to work. I don't show up as my gamer tag to you. I show up as Matt Lawrence.
But that's an alias on my username, which is used as my base identifier.
Yeah.
Instead of a number.
So do that.
Do what?
Do that.
Just have alias on top of alias?
When the person signs up, they don't even. I mean, I'm talking out of my ass. Like I don't work there, right? But like if the main identifier is the name, which it sounds like it is, I think it's called the key or something like that. If it's that, to me, again, from an unexperienced speculative perspective, to be clear, because I'm gonna get fucking technical guys coming at me. Okay, to me, what I would do is if someone's signing up today, they sign up with whatever gamer tag. It has to be unique. If they want to change that, go ahead. But their main one is always held in the back. And I know that there's some suppressive data in the back of PSN ID because, one second, I'm going to readjust my seating position to get ready to say this. Because when I signed up for the Battlefront beta, the first one, I think it was the first one, the beta, it pulled up my old uncle's email because I was a kid, so I couldn't have like an account, like I had a parent or a kid account. It pulled up his email, and I haven't seen that thing on my account in years. So there's some like suppressive data. Maybe that was EA servers, I don't know, but there's some like suppressed data. So to me, I would alias the other thing and literally make it so that games going forward, pull the new name. If you're playing an older game, your old ID may appear. The first name change is free anyway, so people can't get too fired up. I think that's fair. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? It's like the first division. I'm going to show up as my original name.
Yeah.
Name 1. But if I change my name and I go play the Division 2, I'm going to show up as my other one. Who cares? I think that's fair.
So essentially, how I understand how normally creating a username works, when you create an account, you are essentially assigned a number, right?
Yeah.
So let's say I'm the first one. I get assigned number 1, okay?
Okay.
And then I type in my username, Woofer195.
Okay.
That is essentially an alias on top of 1. My true identifier is 1, right? But everything that reads me as 1 will read me as Woofer195.
Yeah. Kind of like how you would type in when you type in like www.whatever.com, it's actually an IP.
So in normal situations, like on Xbox,
yeah,
I change my gamer tag.
It just changes the
alias. It changes the alias. 1 still exists. I'm always 1.
Yeah.
But my alias has changed.
So why don't they do the same thing?
What they did when they set up the PlayStation network,
yeah,
your username was your base identifier.
Yeah.
I'm always going to be Woofer195 somewhere in their system.
Why don't they just do the same thing then? This is what I'm not understanding. If they want to have it like that,
they must be
just do it.
They must be wanting to recycle the names, maybe.
No, what I think is happening here is that old games, what they would do on the Xbox is they would say, okay, Woofer195 has logged in, but what it actually would be is like player 1. I don't know. I'll just call player 1. Number 1 has logged in. That's how the game pulls it. It says pull this guy's this guy's account, and it pulls number 1, and then it just like wherever number 1 appears, it just shows alias Woofer195, right? In what it sounds like to me in the PlayStation 4 older games and PlayStation 3 games and probably PlayStation 2 games. I don't really know how the online works there, but it's literally saying pull woofer 195, which is like a real simple solution, technically, right? Eventually you're going to probably run out of decent usernames, but like it really technically is a simple solution. But what I'm saying to do is like, or what they're saying is going to probably happen is on those older games, again, a speculation, but on those older games, it's going to say pull woofer 195, but the system's going to go, there is no woofer 195. So it might error out or it might just create you a new profile on like the Call of Duty server or whoever. And then you will lose that leaderboard. Yeah. You will lose that microtransaction. You will lose those things. But what I'm saying it should fucking do is pull the fucking username and just alias it. So on those old things, just make it so the alias doesn't appear. I don't care about the old things. If it's like going forward, you're able to change your name. You get a free one.
I imagine those old games are still going to be looking for whatever
the old one was.
Your alias is, I think.
The old one, like the original.
No, but I'm saying once they set up this new system, the old games are not aware that there's a new system in place.
Yeah.
So whatever your visible name is, it's going to try to read and not actually look for the alias.
What I'm saying is don't change. It sounds to me like they're trying to, and I'm not a database architect. It sounds to me what they're trying to do is change that value. I'm saying don't.
But here's what I'm saying, though. I agree. But I'm saying what might happen with what you're saying. Mm-hmm. Let's say my name is Wolfram 195 and I change it to Coffee Cup.
Okay.
Okay. And I boot up an old game.
Yeah.
It doesn't know what to do with that alias. It's going to see the alias and think that is...
Why is it going to see the alias?
Because that is what is on the surface.
To me, like, and again, to me, what it should be doing is this. It should say pull key value or pull key file or key string, whatever the fuck it is. Pull the key string, and so it pulls the person's name in. When it does that on an older game, it will continue to do that because that game is not patched. Mm-hmm. It does not understand what key alias is. Let's to make it clear, key is going to be your original name. Okay, and key alias is your new name. What I am just personally saying is that to me it should be rather simple. I shouldn't say it's simple because it's a big fucking network.
Yeah.
But just in terms of on paper theory, what should be happening is that that old game should and still probably does call for a key. It doesn't understand what alias is, so it never calls it.
Right.
So therefore, it displays key. What's key? Key is your woofer 195. But if you're playing Fortnite, which is updated, it'll go, key, is there alias? Yes. Display alias. So easy. In speculation. God knows how they have it actually set up. Yeah. I don't work there.
I wonder how hard it would be to retrofit your games to work with the new system.
Probably easy as fuck.
Because this is going to screw up single-player games too, right? Or no? Is this only for online
I don't
games?
know, because there are ownership tags in PlayStation 3 games.
And it's talking about DLC getting erased from your account. This is a mess.
This is a mess.
This is a mess.
So what I'm saying is, like, to me, never change that key file.
Yeah.
And going forward, what you do is you keep the same system in which the first username the person has ever set is their key, but don't tell them that, right? Just that's it. Mm-hmm. And then in an old game, you just explain it. You just say in old games you may appear as your original name. That's such a simple thing to explain to people, and people aren't really going to care. It's like, I want to change my name going forward. Okay, fair enough. You want to play an 8-year-old game? Well, sorry, the graphics are worse because it's 8 years old and your name's the old one. Mm-hmm. It's like, well, you're obviously sacrificing a bit because you're playing a freaking old game anyway.
Yeah.
I don't think people are going to freak out that bad. Admittedly, it's pretty stupid because Microsoft can do it with effortlessly. It appears. God knows if it works on the original Xbox. Mm-hmm. There's a question, but
well,
I don't know. To me, just keep the original name.
All those servers are shut down now, right? On the original Xbox.
Yeah, but back when they weren't, I don't know how that would work.
Yeah. But they probably did it right. I mean, Microsoft's been a long,
they've been in it for the long haul.
Yeah. So,
but the thing is going forward, like let's say you're going forward and you want to make it so that it's this new key alias system, and like let's say when you sign up, let's say I sign up today, let's say the new system is out and I sign up today. When I sign up, I set up Matt Lawrence as my actual name. Matt.Lawrence is my actual name. Let's say it doesn't actually do that. It makes my old alias like 1 2 3 4 7 8 3 6 4 like it makes a fake one up, which is probably how Microsoft's works. Mm-hmm. Makes up a big ass string and it's like unique and no one will ever get that one again. Even if I change my name, it's always in there, right?
Yeah.
What I'm saying is that string or like whatever, like that alphanumeric whatever string is if they want to go forward and start making new accounts where it has those big ass things, fair enough. But in an old game, you're going to appear as 1, 2, 3, 8, 6, 6, 8, 4, blah, blah, blah. Fair enough. Because you signed up like new. Like that kind of sucks. But like that's not that bad. It's like, oh, like it sucks because my name's all messed up. But in the same breath, it's like, but I didn't lose data, purchases, or trophies.
I wonder, could they not have some sort of merging system?
I think they're scared, and I would also be scared.
But like for older games, let's say you do the name upgrade, you change your name, right?
Yeah.
And you boot up an old game. It's on the same console. You're still signed in.
Yeah.
So the console knows it's you, right? The console has approval. This is still the same person.
Yeah.
And then the game can, I guess you still have to update the game, right?
Yeah.
But it would just simply say, looking for, Matt.Lawrence, can't find it. And then, the OS will simply update and say, oh, Matt.Lawrence is now this string of numbers.
Yeah.
And then you can still have the name on top of that.
This is what I'm saying is those old games should just pull your old thing. Like it should literally just like the game should say, give me key value. And so the key value is Woofer 195. And so it goes, okay. But new games will have the logic in there, like programming logic in there. They say, give me key value. And you don't see this. It says Woofer 195. And it goes, okay. Is there an alias? Yes. Okay. Display alias. That's it.
Yeah.
To me. But if you remember this, and I don't know whether we covered this or whether Adriano told us, so take this with a grain of salt. Do you remember that, because it's been a really long time. Do you remember like a long time ago now, so I don't know if I'm remembering the story correctly. There was a guy who like had like a name and he got banned for it because apparently it was like, it sounded racist or something, but it was his actual name.
Right, yeah.
And so they said, okay, like we're going to remake your thing, but you're going to lose all your trophies and stuff.
Right,
Do you notice how they couldn't bring his trophies over? Well, how messed up is their database?
Yeah, why can't they just assign those trophies to his new account?
And they recopied his purchases. Why can't they just recopy his trophies?
Right.
So this is what I mean is like I am absolutely not making fun of the engineers because it could be a mess, to be completely clear. But to me,
and it's probably people who don't even work there anymore, possibly, who set this thing up.
Yeah.
And you have all new engineers in there. Who knows?
So like I'm not calling those engineers dumb because like I mean we haven't lost any data yet.
Yeah.
And they clearly know what might happen.
And to be fair, it was a new time for online gaming as well when they set this all up.
Yeah.
So
that
actually,
really...
so you could originally play online on the PS2. Is that when people first started creating their very first PlayStation accounts?
Possibly.
And did that transfer over to PS3?
Probably. I don't know. That's what I meant by I'm not sure.
I've never played a game online on PS2.
That's what I mentioned before. I'm not sure how the PS2 stuff worked.
Jeez.
I don't even know if you had an ID or whether it was per game. I think it may have been per game, but I don't actually know.
No wonder it took them like a decade to even attempt this.
Well, Microsoft probably knew that people were going to do racist names and stuff, and they knew that you were going to ban and tell people.
Well, Microsoft had accounts long before the Xbox even came around.
Yeah.
So they knew what they were doing.
Well, they knew that people would change name. Like a big thing in corporations is somebody is in the company and then they change their last name because they got married.
Yeah.
So now it's like, oh shit, now what do we do? Mm-hmm. Right. So you can like set up an alias or whatever, like however it's set up.
Yeah.
But like Microsoft systems generally can handle that. So they know, like they knew that, like, especially gamers, like there was toxicity back then. Mm-hmm. They're going to do stupid racist names or something.
Well, I'm curious of how many publishers and developers are going to update their old games. They obviously see the numbers of how many people are still playing their old games, right? So there might
be some.
They might judge it like, oh, we still have millions of people playing this. Like people still play like Skyrim and Fallout 3.
Yeah,
like in the millions, people still playing those games. So those might be worth it to update them.
Well, actually, to be absolutely clear here, this is the preview program. This is the rollout beta program. Yeah. It's possible that they are working to fix these issues, and it's possible that this is a test rollout, and they will eventually get your data back or something. I don't know if that's true.
Yeah,
but it's possible that they are trying to work on that.
I wonder if when you change your name and you upgrade to this program, if it then assigns you a number instead.
That's what I'm saying. So
going forward, they're clean, and.
But again, though, like how dirty is it to do it the other way? I don't think it's dirty at all.
Again, they might, like I said, they might want to.
Mess.
They might want to recycle those names too, though, at some point.
I wouldn't do that. Well, or no, but the aliases can be like you can, like on Discord, for example, somebody else could be my name, but there's a number at the end of it, and so you need to know the number. But then when you're looking at me in the list, I show up. Like I could be Matt Lawrence on Discord, and you could be Matt Lawrence on Discord if you wanted to be. but the number behind my name is different than yours.
No, I get that.
You can change your name fucking 40 times on Steam.
But I'm just saying, right now, Woofer195 is only held by me.
Yeah.
If I change my name, maybe eventually they want to relinquish that.
Yeah.
And have someone else pick up Woofer195.
See, I would actually say that they're not going to do the number system going forward, actually.
But wouldn't that be like that? That seems the cleanest. Like,
that is the cleanest, but this isn't.
Why not set up your system to be like how everyone else does it, so it's clean going forward?
No, you're absolutely correct there. But the thing is, and I mean, maybe they are doing this, but the thing to me is that if you set up a new account today, who says that you aren't going to be like, oh man, I missed Fallout 3. I want to go back to the PlayStation 3 and play Fallout 3. You know, maybe that's one of the games where the DLC would be affected. Is your DLC going to be registered as some crazy string? Is that going to be displayed to you? Like, that's not very clean then.
Yeah.
Like, there's no cutoff for games. It's not like it. You know what I mean? It's not like a corporate environment in which you go like, this was fucked up. We're getting new computers, new servers. Let's do it. Let's do it right now. There's none of that. This is a legacy system that needs to stay right.
Yeah.
For at least a while. It's interesting.
Yeah, I think in 5 to 10 years it'll be fine. You know what I mean? Once like very few people are actually playing PS4 games, you know.
What I would almost say is that they should make it so that you make another account.
Really?
And then have it so that there's an entirely new account that only has the new alias and the number. But then there's a legacy thing that they don't change the name of. And the old games don't even understand the new logic, and they just pull like they always would and make the new system accept old commands. So, for example, when this would be invisible to the user, and again, speaking out of my ass essentially, but it would be like, you want to make a new account, and maybe they are doing this actually. But you may make a new account, you make a new name, which actually also gives you that number thing, right? The alphanumeric string or whatever it is, as a key file, but what it's actually doing is it's taking your old profile, merging it with a new one. So now new games use this proper system, but there's the old legacy stuff in there. Fair enough. Old fucking games do not understand that new system. They won't even call for it. But make that new database system understand old commands, and then it just gives you your shit back.
Yeah.
So it just pulls your old name. To me, that makes sense.
Yeah. All right, I think that's all the time we got, man.
All right.
Didn't even need the query corner question.
I don't even know what it was.
I can't find it either.
Can't find it.
No.
What do you mean can't? I'm looking it up now.
I don't think I uploaded that.
What are you doing?
That layout.
Man? What are you doing? This. I know Adriano's listening to this, so I'm going to make fun of this. This Google Drive layout, Adriano, is confusing to me. There's a graphics folder, and then if you go into Day One Patch Podcast, there's another graphics folder somewhere. Is there not? Or is there not two graphics folders somewhere?
No.
Or am I talking out of my ass again?
Yeah, you're talking out of your ass.
Unless I am doing something stupid. You know what I'm probably doing actually? You know those like algorithmic shortcuts? I'm probably seeing two, and I'm getting fucking confused.
Maybe.
So I'm just ripping in Adriano for no reason.
I have problems with my Google Drive. It doesn't always like to sync.
That's random. I don't know what you guys are. I don't know what the hell you guys are doing with your fucking sync.
OneDrive's been fine. iCloud's been fine. Dropbox has been fine. Google Drive just doesn't want to sync stuff sometimes. I even watched it today. It was like trying, failed. Trying, failed.
Is there like a file in there that has like an improper like character?
No, because I quit. I restart it, and then it's fine. It gets like caught up on stuff, and
what the hell is happening?
It just won't sync it.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Actually, I remember my complaint about the system.
What system?
The Google Drive system.
Oh, okay.
There's a graphics folder, but there's also a podcast folder. Why isn't there a graphics folder in each of the category folders? So I don't want graphics. I want Day One Patch Podcast, then graphics, then I grab the graphics for it. Why am I going to graphics when there's also a Day One Patch Podcast folder? I'm asking. I'm not being crude. I'm literally asking.
Because we're not just podcasts.
No, we're not. But what I'm saying is that when you're in terms of a workflow, if I'm sitting there and I go, I need to upload this podcast and I need to make the video version for the YouTube channel, I go to Google Drive and then I understand it's really easy to go to graphics, but to me it makes more sense to go Google Drive. What am I working on? Podcast. What do I need? Graphics. I'm already in podcast. Graphics. Now I go to thumbnails.
No, I agree, because when I create my own workflow for my projects, every project has its own set of the exact same folders.
Yes.
And so every project has its own graphics folder.
And mine they all have export folders. There's no master export folder. There's an export folder in each episode folder.
Because you're right. When you're working on a project, you think
project first, then I want something.
Yeah.
Not I want something in project.
Right.
I want project, then I go to something.
Well, I mean, you have ability to
no,
edit.
I don't want to ruin his system. I'm literally asking. I'm not trying to make fun of anybody.
I agree with your system, though.
But maybe there's a reason.
I would have a general graphics folder, I think.
I call those generic assets, and those always get
something like that, yeah.
But those always get put into square bracket 0.
And I never look at them.
Well, no, I'll use them for, like, if we do like a let's play, I'll have like a generic graphics folder with the template, and then I'll just change the number.
Yeah. All right. That's it.
That's all she wrote.
We stream on Wednesdays on Twitch.
Playing the old Fortnite or Spider-Man or something.
You can go watch you can catch up on Spider-Man. We didn't start from the beginning on Spider-Man, but you can catch up.
I'm not starting that game over again.
No, I'm telling the people that we didn't start from the
beginning.
beginning.
We didn't. They said we should start over. I'm like, I ain't doing that again.
It's not going to be a full playthrough, so you're going to jump into the middle of it. But you can go watch it on our YouTube channel right now. And we stream on Twitch, Day One Patch, or twitch.tv/Day1Patch Media.
Yeah.
Give us a follow. Chat with us.
Like how Marty was heckling Adriano
in
our chat, and we didn't know it was him.
Yeah. All right, we'll see you guys next time.
Peace.